What a beautiful morning to be a farmer. I'm just filling up the water here for the broilers. I've got the layers are all happy out behind me. Sun's out. Just servicing these two broiler pens, and that's me. Oh, I gotta go feed the turkeys, and then that's me done for the morning. It's not bad being a farmer on nice days like this, is it? It's a beautiful morning on the farm here, so I just thought I'd take a little quick tour around the farm. I'm just here checking out our windbreaks. We've got our beautiful willows here. These are all basket and making varieties, so hopefully in a few years we'll maybe utilise them, but their job at the minute is grow up to be big and bushy and keep the wind from going up into this field behind us, blow the wind up over the farm. And it's a bit hard to see with the light, but they're doing really well. And over here we've got our sheep grazing. It's really bad weather for fly strike or blow fly, so we're watching them pretty tight because we don't use any chemicals on the farm. Conventionally farmers would put pour-ons on them to repel the flies, but we can't do that, so we have to monitor them closely. So we just sit and watch them, and if they ever did get hit with fly strike, we just wash it out. Or if you shear the sheep, it also helps to prevent that. But it's this weather and just this time of year is really prevalent for that, so we just be extra vigilant with them, and everything's good. And we'll go around and look at the turkeys. Hey turkeys, how are we doing? They're enjoying the nice weather. It's their gobbledygook, keeps them nice and dry from the rain, and they're doing awesome. They're growing like crazy. Anyone that was here at our open day would have seen them when they were just 7 weeks old. They're now 9 weeks old, and they're just going gangbusters, aren't you guys? Enjoying the good weather and the green grass. And we got to move today, guys. I'm going to come back later, and we're going to move them from here over to there. So you all better behave for that. Well, these guys are all learned how to roost and keep them nice and warm from the weather. And they all want to get up in that top perch. Really happy with how these guys are doing that. And these guys are doing awesome. Hey turkeys. Hey. Is that comfy? They love it. Oh, what a beautiful day on the farm. It's been a little while since I put up a video. I've just been super busy. We had our open day on the farm, which was a great success, and now I'm off the farm for a few days, a little holiday. I'm heading off to what I think is two of the best farmers in the world. I'm going off for a training course with Joel Salatin and Richard Perkins, and Neve's out in the background there. She's just doing the afternoon chores. So my girlfriend and my brother-in-law and my father are farm sitting for me, so I'm really lucky. I've got the guys here, and they're more than capable of looking after the farm when I'm away. So a bit of a downtime for me, and I've never been to Ridgedale, so it's been a place that's been a massive inspiration for me. And then to have Joel there from Polyface is kind of it's really it's like me going to Disneyland, you know. So we'll do a little quick walk around the farm and see how things are progressing. We've had a really wet July, and thankfully things have really dried up in August, and regrowth has really kicked into gear again. I was getting a little worried. Birds were starting to do a lot of disturbance. We were leaving the ground pretty heavily impacted, and it was just I was worried about getting into the winter and how far into the winter we could go before we have the ground really severely impacted that we have to come off it. So I've been really waiting hard on this good weather, and it's really helped out. You can see here in the foreground, this is the birds were here day before yesterday, so we just moved out of here, and you can see on the other side of the tree line it's got 2 weeks rest on it now, so we're getting good regrowth on it. We were getting some patches here where the birds were totally bringing some soil, bearing some soil. This was really wet when the birds were on it, so I've just oversown some pasture herb mix, and hopefully that'll germinate and come up and cover that up good. We've got our ducks are in here. They're very skittish. I try to spend a bit of time with them, but they just don't like me, I think. Maybe not. They're happy floating around on their own. And here's our little duckies. Hi guys. They can go and come out of here as they please, and they're doing really well. They're growing really fast. Don't know what, I'd say these guys are going to end up in the pot. Don't know, we haven't totally figured that out. Sheep are doing really well, so we're grazing. This is the kind of grass we're grazing here. So this is over 40 days recovery on it, and the sheep are going to be here in 2 days time, and we're moving through this. You can see here we have some sedges coming through, but again the grass is competing strong with them. So I think if we continue our management the way we are, we will hopefully remove a lot of the sedge and encourage more palatable species for the sheep. With the warmer weather, we've had fly strike has been really bad, so blue fly or blowfly laying their eggs on sheep and then creating maggots has been problematic. I had 2 lambs that got hit with the blowfly. Now it's easy for me to check them because I'm with my sheep every day. We're moving every day, so I have a close eye on them because I don't use any chemicals to prevent fly strike. So if they do get hit, I just we put them in, and we typically shear around the area they've been hit and wash them out with cold water. And if we manage them that way, it's fine. We try to encourage birds on the farm which will prey and eat the flies. And on hindsight, we're quite close to the coast here, which can be typically more prone to it. So in hindsight, maybe I should have sheared the lambs when I brought them onto the farm, and it would have given me a better chance again. But we're just keeping a close eye on that. It's one of the harder things to manage this time of year when it's really warm weather, but I think we're over the worst of it. I had one lamb that they got down and got bared a bit of skin on her, but we've got that treated and she's all good. But it's really hard to watch and manage, and that's why it's important to be checking them a couple of times a day. I'm just here with, this is our Eggmobile 2, and these guys are doing good. We've got good regrowth, so they're on heavy grass at the minute, and I would have to leave them on here probably 3 to 4 days if I wanted to impact it. I'm not so worried about impacting this pasture here, so we're flying over it, and we're going to be moving tomorrow morning down to the pasture on the other side of the fence there. But really happy with how hens are doing. Eggs are doing really well. Eggmobiles are doing well, so everything's going well here. Just in the tunnel here, our tomatoes are starting to ripen, and as you can see, we're starting to get tons and tons going to be coming in fast now. We're going to be eating tomatoes every day by the looks of it. And our lettuces, that bed needs to get nearly torn out, and we've got new lettuces coming in, cucumbers. The garden is the last thing on the priority list, so we've got some more. These are just lettuces, so it's more of a hobby than anything else. And I've got loads and loads of beans here. The brooder's been empty now for a few weeks. We've just got 2 more batches of broilers to do. They're out in the field. I'll be doing 1 batch when I get back from Ridgedale, and then our last batch will be in September, probably the 2nd or 3rd week of September. You can see these are our egg crates. We just washed them, so they're just drying here in the polytunnel, and then they go back into service. That's the great thing about plastic. Highly recommend these if you're running a laying operation. Keep your eggs safe, very easy to clean. When the inspector from the department was out, he really liked them because it was nice and easy to clean. One thing I have been working on to make the inspector happy with my water situation, they couldn't argue that my water didn't work, but it didn't meet their regulations, so I've just made these mobile nipple bars for the Eggmobiles. So I'm going for free range certification, so 10 hens per nippler, so I've put 30 nipplers on these bars, and then I've just they're run onto a quick coupler here, which I will run off of gravity, so I'll have this barrel hooked onto it, because if I hooked it onto my main line, it's too much pressure, those little nipplers won't take it, whereas if I just do a gravity feed off that barrel, that'll be fine. Birds are never going to use it, but it's easy for me to move around after them, and it keeps the inspector happy and means I can keep my chickens. So I've had to do a few adjustments to the system to make the regulators happy. They're basically, I have to conform with all the regulations for industry, so I've had to adjust certain things like that there which make no difference to the birds here. They're like, what are you doing that for? You're a crazy person. But it keeps them happy, and listen, that's what we got to do. So I've done several things like that ticks their box, keeps them happy, and I'm happy, and I can keep doing what I'm doing and they keep doing what they do, so everybody's happy. Costs a bit of money, you know, it's money I had to spend to do the stuff that's really irrelevant and brings no benefit to the birds, doesn't enhance their life in any way, but that's what you got to do. You know, we're all about being compliant with regulations, and you know, if we'll be the first to pick up a welfare issue, you know, and do whatever needed to be done. So slowly getting through that. Hopefully I have another inspection again to sign off on the last changes that they requested made, and then I'll be fully certified. An interesting observation I made was I'm just on the north side of the gate here, and these willow have just gone gangbusters. They've grown 4 foot or more, and this was particularly harder ground. There was a lot more rocks here. It wasn't as good a quality ground. So my observation here is that these particular varieties of willow I planted in thrive on poorer ground, which will be typical of willow. If we look across the gate, like, look at that guy there's put on, he must have put on 5 foot of growth. And the exact same variety, that's almond leaf willow, on the other side of the gate here, you know, they've only put on probably 24 inches, 2 foot of growth. Half a meter in places. So and this would be better quality ground. It had a lot more till, it was a lot easier, clay, it was a lot easier digging, so that'd be probably true to typical willow. Prefers less fertile ground or tougher ground, and it's a real pioneering plant. Really happy with how the windbreaks are developing, and they have a good start now to really take off next year. So I completely forgot to make an end of the video, and I'm just editing it here, and I have no end of the video, so I better do one. I'm off to Ridgedale in the morning, so super excited for that, and just nice to get a few days a bit more relaxed and around some like-minded people, and get some inspiration. So hopefully maybe I'll get a chance, I'll make some content when I'm there, or even record some of my thoughts when I'm there, and it'll be nice then to get back on the farm with fresh eyes and a bit of rest and a bit more oomph for just get the tail end of the season in. So thanks for watching, guys.